Last October, I spoke in one of these reflections about the Tent of Nations, the hilltop farm south of Bethlehem that has been the family home of the Nasser family for more than 100 years. I want to speak about it again today. For those of you who are new to our reflections or who missed that one, Daoud Nasser and his family are Palestinian Christians. As well as cultivating their land, they open it up to visitors and volunteers from around the world. My son was one of these and spent a month on the farm when he left school. The Nasser's hilltop is ringed by other hilltops, and in recent years, Israeli settlements have been established on each of these. Daoud and his brother Daha have been forced to prove their ownership of the land in an exhausting series of court cases over many years, and they've experienced considerable harassment. One of the entry routes to the farm has been blocked by massive boulders, and last September, one of their storage caves was attacked and vandalized. I'm afraid that there is more bad news to report. Earlier this week, the Nassers posted this message on their Facebook page. Today was a very hard day. While on our way to the farm, we received a phone message that left us without words. Neighbouring farmers informed us that our farm has been set on fire. We rushed and tried to secure water to put out the fire. It was appalling to watch it spread rapidly into further fields, damaging thousands of olive, almond and vine trees. Fortunately, we were able to get the situation under control with the help of family members and nearby villagers after spending 7 hours in the smoke that made our eyes swell. It was very crushing to see that all the new trees we had planted and watered over the past 5 months disappeared in seconds. Hamed Kawazme works for the United Nations in Hebron, south of Bethlehem, and also runs HERN, the Hebron International Relief Network. It's an agency which tries to help local villagers when they are in need. He heard of the fire and called Daoud, who told him that 1,500 trees had been lost. Hamed thought this was probably an exaggeration and went to visit the next day. He writes, "We were devastated when we saw the impact and how widespread the fire was. We walked for more than 15 minutes in ashes. It was like a never-ending sea of darkness." Hamed notes that as well as the trees, the compost toilets have been destroyed. I've used those, and I can testify to their extraordinary design and to their utility. Let me be clear, there is no evidence yet as to how the fire started, but the loss is plainly enormous, and the challenge now is huge. Part of the Nasser's land has, in the past, been made the subject of stop work orders by the Israeli government, and if it remains uncultivated, they are once more at risk of losing it. So Hamed's agency plans to help by replanting trees, rebuilding the toilets, and replenishing the water supply. As I said when I last spoke to you about the tent, painted on a stone at the entrance are the words, "We refuse to be enemies." It's the philosophy that guides Daoud and his family. I've no doubt that they will work patiently to make good the damage that has been done and to continue to care for the land that was their inheritance and will be their bequest. But they need assistance. Planting trees in a never-ending sea of darkness is a profoundly hopeful, courageous, faithful act. If you're able to, please consider making a donation through the link that will appear below this recording. The money will go via the Amos Trust to Hamed's agency, Hearn, and thence to the rebuilding of the farm. But uttering prayers in the face of repeated setbacks is a similarly hopeful, courageous, and faithful act. I'm sure that Daoud and his family will be praying tonight. So please pray for them, for the peace of Jerusalem, and for the tent of nations where all are welcome. Let's make a start now. God of justice, bless all who work for peace through justice, all whose workload has been made heavier by the events of the pandemic. Strengthen their resolve in the face of seemingly endless setbacks, obfuscation, and violence. Guide our leaders to know your will and to support a just peace for all your children in every place. God of love, breathe compassion into our prayers. Fill us with a desire for nothing other than peace. Peace in our hearts. Peace for all creation. And especially peace in the land of the Holy One. Amen. May God bless you this bank holiday weekend.